We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody around the world that are humans at heart, just like we are. Welcome to another edition of the We Outside live cast. Now, I do want to preface this. Normally, we have a special guest, but I'm going to tell you right now that tonight it is the Dooney and Mikey P show because we are the special guests for you here tonight. We don't have the opportunity a lot because, whether you've been following us or not, let me break it down for you. At the end of the day, whenever we have a special guest that is getting added to the We Outside Live family, it's their show. We just facilitate the conversation. But tonight, we are facilitating the conversation for us, by us. We're going to take the time to reintroduce you to us. We're just going to freestyle this conversation like we do with all of our conversations. And I think at the end of the day, the beautiful thing is, Dooney, one thing that we've not talked about on one of these shows, I think, since you've been a host. So let's kind of maybe just start here. How we came together, right? The kinship and the brotherhood that we have. And I'm a believer like you are in the universe and the creator, and you obviously have a saying that I very much adopted, where God don't take no days off. And
Sure.
there was a day back in the summer of 2024 that, now mind you, people, I don't at the time I wasn't really scrolling Facebook a lot, but I happened to be on Facebook one day, and I came across a reel where Dooney was the focal point of this reel, right? And I clicked on it. Something told me to click on it, so I clicked on it. And the clip had you defining what it meant to be gangsta, like the real, true gangsta, not like the shows and social media tell you what a gangsta is. The true meaning of a gangsta, rooted in being the man that comes home and is providing for your family, keeping a roof over your family's head, putting food on the table, like taking care of your own ultimately, because that's what a real gangster is, right? And that struck me and spoke to me so much, because I had never heard it put like that, that I immediately jumped off of Facebook and I started trying to find you, because I just wanted to say thank you for saying what you said in the way that you had said it. And I did. I sent you an Instagram message, and honestly, like, I wasn't even expecting any reply back. I really wasn't, to be honest with you. And probably half a day later, something like that, you had hit me back and was like, "Yo, thank you." You just said thank you, and like the conversation just started from there. We started talking a little more, and then the relationship just continued to grow from there. To the point where it's a year ago today that you flew out to Oklahoma to help us move to Kansas City.
Sure.
And now you're here as part of this family that we're growing on the We Outside Live network, and I'm grateful. But I just wanted to take that time, especially since it's the year anniversary of when we flew you out to help us move from Oklahoma City to Kansas City. I thought it was important for those that might not be aware of how our relationship started, how we got connected, and it's straight up the universe that brought us together, bro. And I'm so grateful for what the universe and what the creator has provided to us both. So again, thank you for that moment in time, to the creator, to the universe, and most importantly, you for being the human that you are, bro. I'm forever grateful, and I just wanted to share that story, because you never know what the universe is going to send you, and the universe sent me a brother that I would have never imagined, and that's how Mikey P and Dooney met, and that's how we got from there to where we are today and everywhere in between. And there's more coming, people. There's so much more coming. Maybe we'll talk about it later on in the conversation. Maybe we'll save it for another conversation, because we're going to start doing this a lot more often. We're going to continue to have our special guests, but you're going to be seeing more often Dooney and myself popping out here and having some conversations, with you all. So yeah, that's where I wanted to start today, bro.
Yeah, it's not often that even in today's world, not a world I'm not familiar with, right? Um, for a brother to reach out to another brother and commend him for something, right? So for doing that, I missed that. So you brought that to me when you said what you said to me, right? And then you said that you appreciate me making that statement, right? Uh, I just want it to be said, man. Like in even in the streets, man, you're a whole ass man. So you're protecting the community, you're protecting your loved ones, and then you protect your family when you get home. It's not just protect the homies. You know what I'm saying? You're a whole ass man. And I just want to point that out to my young loved ones, bro, because um, family is everything, bro. And you don't never forsake your family, bro, uh, for no one.
Yep.
Not saying that all your family is family because either we get along or we cut from the same cloth or we not. And if we not cut from the same cloth, I choose to walk my own walk. You know what I mean? But it leaves room
Absolutely.
for being able to meet genuine brothers like yourself. I just don't have people around me just to have people around me, bro. I have people around me that's of substance, right? I prefer substance over numbers, bro.
It's about that quality, not the quantity.
Yeah, bro. And
I feel
sometimes
you
you
there.
can get that in family, and family is not always blood, bro. You know what I mean? Uh, Family is those that make you feel like that, and that's what it was between you and myself, bro. So, uh, yeah, bro. Like for my brothers, bro, I do anything, bro. You know what I mean? If that means driving way across country to help you move, bro. You know what I mean? And not just try to help you move, bro, to help you do it in record time. I want to make you do it faster than you ever thought that you would ever get
And
it
we
done.
and we did. We did.
You
We
know what
we
I'm
damn
talking
sure
about?
did.
Um, um, just love, bro. We need more of that, bro. You know what I mean? We just need more of that, bro. And I understand where I come from and my experience and how I grew up, what love looks like. And love didn't always have a color, bro. You know what I
No, I think
mean?
I think you said it best with that definition of family, and I agree with you because I live by that same thing. And the saying for me is blood makes you related, loyalty is family. Um, so foundationally, we're aligned. We've always been aligned from day one, and I think that's very important for people to realize that you don't necessarily have to have known somebody your entire life or a very long period of time to be considered a day one. Like, if you're solid with me from day one, well, that's what makes you a day one, right? Because I've had people in my life for 25, 30 or more years. And I would no longer, maybe at some point I consider them
Time
family.
time has no relevance, bro.
Exactly.
We're dealing with human beings, bro. Different characters and personalities, bro. Some with two or three personalities, bro. So
Hmm. And then you mix a little bit of that ego that goes unchecked into it, and that's a whole nother ball game, bro.
yeah. So
It really is.
God will line it up, bro. I just believe that He'll line it up, bro. And I can't wait, for you to make that transition out here, bro, to Sacramento, bro. I look forward to uh how we gonna be able to serve the people the way we want to serve the people when we together, bro.
It is
You know,
because I mean, what we've been able to accomplish, being thousands of miles away with the platform and coming together on the We Outside Livecast like we have over the last like 8 or 9 months at this point, it's been tremendous. I mean, you put us physically in the same place. We're going to take it to a whole new level, and I'm excited. Because we're looking forward to that move. We're anticipating it immensely. It's going to happen as soon as the creator and universe tell us that it's time to make happen. But we're making our preparations. We're thinning things out of our household. That way, it's just an easier move. It's not going to be the same one that it was from Oklahoma City to Kansas City,
Right, right.
because we just, I mean, like if like literally, and I've said this to you before, if we could hop in the car right now and just take the animals with us, we'd be out right now. We would leave everything here, honestly, because it's just things, right? It's just things. It's nothing more than that. It's there's nothing behind it. They're just physical objects, nothing more than that. Um,
Right.
so
I so
now,
look forward to you coming, bro, and us building everything we want, bro. Taking raw land and building everything we want, bro. I don't think people understand, right? What we're capable of, bro. Right? As individuals and definitely as a team, bro. I so look forward to you and your queen coming out here, bro, with me and my queen, bro, and we building our homes, bro.
we can't wait, and we can do that. So now we're excited, and what we're going to provide, through this platform, like we've talked about in the back end, for things that we're going to do outside of just going live. We're literally going to be getting out into communities all around the country, but talking about Sacramento as well. I mean, we have our plans, and we're putting together a nonprofit for the youth in that area as well, and to get them certain skills. Right. But also one thing that we talked about that we're going to do with respect to our nonprofit, for the future of this world, as a whole, and certainly that Sacramento area, is that we are going to be also providing them something that not a lot of nonprofits that offer these types of things, that we're going to, with the skills that we're going to provide and teach. The two most important things when you learn a trade, a skill, at whatever word you want to give it, right? A lot of nonprofits lack, giving them business acumen and financial literacy. And I think those are two of the biggest pieces missing from nonprofits who are out here teaching skills. And again, I want to be very clear, right? I'm not knocking any of those nonprofits in any way, shape, or form. The ones who are doing it for the right reasons and not just the tax write offs or look at me, right? I salute the ones that are doing it for the real reasons, and with of pure intention, like we always talk about, right? But I'm excited that we're going to be able to provide these individuals that we're going to be serving for years to come. Also, the
I
knowledge
think it's
of how to
important
sustain that.
too. It's important that we talk about um, why we doing what we doing, right? Because I think society's just been rocked to sleep, right?
Yeah,
Um, so to speak, because like us elders, what we had in school, these last generations haven't had.
correct.
So we out of touch with what they have and what they don't have as well. So we probably been rocked to sleep with our children, right? So when they took trades out of school, they did it for a reason.
Yep.
When they took them trades out of school, they left only what they need to teach to have you run one of their stores or work at one of their convenient or department stores or they make restaurants, right? They're not teaching you to be entrepreneurs, right? And when you have a skill set, right? I don't care if it's carpenter, electrician, plumber, uh, any of those things, right?
Hmm.
You can be an entrepreneur. So they took those trades out of school so our people, our young ones, wouldn't become entrepreneurs. And of course, our people of color do not want to work for McDonald's, bro, no matter how much they paying. It's just a stigma to go with that,
Correct.
right? So now school is no longer interested. They took out everything that brought me to class, bro. They took out all the classes that I got A's in, bro. Metal fab, wood shop, home economics, bro. The basic home necessities, things that you need to know as a man or as a woman, bro, as a young girl, bro. How to cook, bro. How to sew, bro. How to be independent. They took those things, bro, right along
Yep.
with the trade. So our kids don't know how to cook. They work for McDonald's and become dependent to eat at McDonald's, bro. All because they took those trades out of school. Things that they knew we were interested in. Things that
Yep.
showed by our grade average who was interested in these skill in these trades that they had at these schools, bro.
And again, we
And
talked about that before. You take those things away from them
come
for a
on, bro.
reason.
Yeah. So I'm gonna either work at McDonald's or I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get it ill-gotten gains. I'm gonna get it illegally. There's no middle. There's no middle ground. You know what I'm saying? And that there should be a middle ground, and our young ones need to understand that there's a middle ground. You can
You're
learn a
exactly right.
skill or a trade, and you can work for yourself. You generate your own jobs. You ain't got to change your hustle. You just change your product.
Yep.
Period.
Because if you can sell, you can sell. If you can hustle, you can hustle. But having the knowledge of that business acumen and financial literacy, which are things that, also aren't taught, in those institutions, again, by design, because
Why would I teach you to manage your money? I want you to work for me. I pay you crumbs, and then you spend it all back on products, on things that depreciate from the time you buy it, and they know it. So why I'm gonna teach you to be fiscally responsible? Why would I do that? That would be shooting my own self in the foot. That's what our people have to understand. That's what our young life have to realize, right? That it's a cycle.
Yep.
And then running the cycle, and we're gonna stay in that cycle until we step up off that treadmill, man, and stop spinning around in circles, bro. You know what I mean? But so that's the whole reason why we need to bring these trades to Sacramento, bro. And then we need to spread it out from there, bro. Cause these kids need skills, bro. They have no skills at all, bro.
And that's exactly what we're going to give them. And I know we have a tool bag of resources that are currently available to us and are going to continue to be available to us to support that mission. And it's about, no different than we talked about at the top of the conversation, blood making you related, loyalty making family. Like, that's why we always call our family members here on the We Outside Livecast truly family members, because, it's funny. I did as a guest, I was a guest on a talk show podcast yesterday here in Kansas City. It's not going to air for a couple months, but she had asked the question because it just came up. I mean, we talked about my music, we talked about the We Outside Livecast and stuff like that. But one of the questions that she asked me specific to the livecast, she was like, what do you look for when you look for somebody to come and have a conversation with you guys on the livecast? And it was one simple answer: authenticity. People who are real humans that are out here to do real things. And I don't care if you have a name behind you or you're an everyday person that nobody down the block would know. If you're out here doing beautiful things as a human being, we want to talk to you. It's important for us to have that conversation with you because, it's like the good old saying goes, find your tribe, right? And I know that we've already built a very strong tribe, and we're going to continue to add to that tribe and that family to help us serve the mission of providing for the youth and talking about those skills and talking about giving them the business acumen and the financial acumen that they're going to need to sustain and build their entrepreneurship journey with the skills that we're going to be able to provide them and teach them as well. We're giving them the whole bag. We're not just dangling the bag. We're not just giving them the bag. We're showing them how to make their own bag. And I think that's very important that a lot of people don't do out here as well. So I'm excited, bro. Yeah, especially in this world today, we need more of that. The whole world needs it. Sacramento needs it. Kansas City needs it. Bridgeport, Connecticut, where I originate from, needs it. Oklahoma City needs it. Colorado, everywhere around the world needs it, bro. Because we are living in some crazy times around this world right now, bro. Like, and that's saying something.
That's the whole point too, also, bro, about why I'm so hell bent on teaching whoever want to learn about gardening, bro, especially these
Hmm.
kids, bro. Because if we don't teach these youth about gardening, bro, they're gonna become dependent on these people for the rest of their life, and that's how they'll die.
Yep.
They'll die dependent. They'll die early because they dependent on something that's not healthy, and they ain't got no other option. There's other options, bro. We got to teach our people that there's other options. That's why I'm trying to bring it to every community I can, bro. Uh, we need to feed ourselves, bro. You know what I mean? We need to feed ourselves. It only takes 5 or 10 minutes that you waited in that line to cook that stuff in that pot or to boil
Hmm.
it. It's the same time. You know what I mean? That sometimes you wait. And I see lines, bro, at them restaurants and the fast food places, bro. 10, 11, 12 cars. What? The line is 10, 11, 12 cars waiting, bro. You know how much food you could have cooked at your house and
Hmm.
and made yourself something healthy versus waiting all that time to eat some poison that's gonna kill you.
And the amount of money that would be saved by doing that as well. So it goes back to the point that you're talking about. Like the system is just designed to give you
Yeah,
XYZ just to go ahead and spend it back.
it's the whole reason why they start building these concrete jungles, bro. So you can't grow nothing. If
Hmm.
there's nowhere room to grow anything, the conversation about you growing something goes away. Unless you happen to have a piece of land big enough for you to grow something, bro. All this
Very
stuff is
true.
by design, bro. They wanted to take us out of the garden, bro, out of the jungle, so to speak, so we can become dependent. There's no food nowhere in the concrete jungle, so we have to go to their stores to get it. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
it's all a trick bag, bro.
It is. It's we always talk about it, in these conversations. It's a system designed to make people
For
do what they want.
convenience.
Yeah.
For convenience.
Excuse me.
And literally, convenience is killing us.
Yep. It's like remember God, I haven't seen this movie. I don't even know if I ever even watched the whole movie, but there's a Disney movie from like, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago called Wall-E, right? And it's about like how robots came in and like just was doing things convenient for people. And again, anybody that's out there watching this, whether live or after the fact, correct me if I'm wrong, but essentially I think the premise is where, or the part that I'm speaking about is like humans essentially had everything done so conveniently for them that when it was time, like they literally just laid down, like they never like stood up on their own 2 feet, like ever. And when things started breaking down within the machine world, the robot world, they actually literally had to get on their feet. But because they had not been on their feet for so long, not only were they large people, but their bones had never strengthened to the point. So it's like they had to literally, even adults had to learn to like start to walk again. Because
Mm-hmm.
and you saying that convenience kills is very true. It's very true. And there's a
Literally,
message in that
literally.
movie, a big
Yeah.
message in that
They
movie.
always, bro, if you watch their movies, bro, if you watch the movies they put out, bro, they're predicting the future. They're telling you, they're desensitizing you to make it okay. And then when it happens, boop, it's okay. We ain't tripping. I always saw that
Hmm.
before. That's cool. Huh? Like the media, bro.
And when you
It's
have the
it's
media being controlled by the government who wants to keep that system that they have set up going, like
come on, bro.
you gotta, yeah, it's like Kendrick's are, bro. It's like Kendrick said, you gotta turn the TV off, bro, and you gotta start living for yourself.
It's the same thing. Music, the TV, internet. You have to be careful what you take in, bro. That's why them other countries don't allow that shit, so you don't even have to fight that shit.
Mm-hmm.
and try to decipher what you want to take in and not. There's so much stuff coming at these kids and at this world, not even at adults, bro.
Yeah, it's nonstop.
Bro, I literally had a conversation with a kid today. He's like 15, 16. Yeah, he's 15. And he showed me a video and said, "This is what this dude is doing." I said, "Bro, I'm looking at the video. That video ain't showing him doing that." "Yes, that's what he's doing, bro. That's what I'm like, bro. I'm looking at you showed me the video. If he was doing that, I would say he's doing that. But in his mind, he put it because someone said it and wrote it that this is what's happening, even though he's seeing it. And it's not what he's seeing because I'm not seeing that, bro. And he's convinced."
And it's crazy because the
I
good old
said,
saying goes, perception is reality. And sadly, that's
yo,
his reality.
you know what that remind me of, bro?
What's that?
All those people going to the White House feeling that Trump was cheated out of something, bro.
Oh, the January 6th riot? Is that what you're
You
talking about
understand
from a
what I'm
couple years ago?
saying?
Yep.
It's that same mind state that you can see the truth, but not hear it nor believe it. Just because somebody else said something. Just because he said, I was cheated. And just because someone said that this man, Michael Jordan, was molesting a child, bro, feeling on a child, bro. I'm looking at the video,
Mm-hmm.
bro. I'm like, no, bro. I'm not gonna let you do that, bro. And you shouldn't be doing that, bro. You shouldn't be making you hate this man, Michael Jordan, you're a kid. I'm telling you, Jordan was the rawest that ever did it, bro. And he's like, no, he's a pedophile. Huh? Let me see.
Mm-hmm.
He a pedophile, bro. What? Are you serious, bro? Yeah, he's touching him. What? Where, bro? We're seeing the same video, bro. And this is how the internet got our children, bro.
Mm-hmm. And
But
it's
they
funny.
can't even distinguish reality, what's reality for their own selves, bro. They're being told what is, bro. Even though they're
Yep.
showing you it's not it. They're saying it and they're believing it, bro. Even though they see it's not it, bro. What do you do with that?
Uh,
You got to
man,
keep fucking chipping and chipping away, bro, till you
you
get
have to.
through that shit, bro.
You have to. You have no choice. And it brings me back to the conversation that we had with Vanessa about 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago, or whatever it was when we were talking about the internet. And it's crazy because I was out driving last night and I heard on the radio, it's like, oh, Instagram teen accounts. Learn how to protect your teens of who could see their stuff and who they can connect with and blah 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 blah. Like, do we not, like, are people that ignorant? And they are. That was gonna be more rhetorical, so I'm just gonna come out and say it. They are to think that because somebody has an Instagram teen account or child account, that somebody who is not a teen or a child is not going to be smart about their ability to go on to Instagram, create themselves their own Instagram account with a fake profile, fake picture, and be able to, from the other side, from what you're talking about, we got to chip away at it, that those same people are going to be chipping away from the other side of things, as a whatever age adult trying to get at this teen or child or whatever the case may be. And the sad part is 85%, there's a stat out there that 85% of the world are followers. And that goes very much back to what you were talking about the January 6th riots, when, somebody of power or influence can say one thing and then 85% of the country jumps on it. That's a problem. When people aren't thinking for themselves and they're just following things, that's a big problem. And that's going to take a lot of time and a lot of power to chip away at that number as well.
It's the same thing, man. Cat, you following the cat when you know he's telling you to do something that's not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
When he's telling you to risk your liberty, your life, and your freedom, right? Telling you to do that, you do it simply because he told you to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Uh, all out of loyalty, bro. Loyalty to who? The first loyalty is to self.
Always.
And that's what our young life got to understand. Your first loyalty is to yourself, man. And that is to preserve your liberty in your life. That's
And
your
that's what
first loyalty.
that's what you got to
And if
stand up for as
anyone
a
that
human
has you
being.
do anything that's contrary to that, that's not love, bro. That's not love, bro. Because you say, would you tell your son to do that? Would you tell your mama to do that? If you're not gonna tell your mama to do that, and your son to do that, and your grandmother to do that, and your family to do that, then you don't tell nobody else to go do it, bro. Come on, bro. Because we know we have those that follow, bro.
Hmm.
Then we have like a fiduciary, like a duty, right? Like a obligation, bro, to lead right, bro. Because when you lead another kid wrong, he's gonna some point cross with your child or some child you may know that you may
Hmm.
care
And now more people are infected with that nonsense
for. Come on, bro.
and that ignorance on top of it. And
We got
that's
to start.
how.
Bro, I can't wait till you get out of here, bro. We have a lot of stuff planned for the community, bro. We coming into the hoods. We coming into the neighborhood, bro. We going into the hoods, bro. You know what I mean? We going where our people are, bro. We going where they need it, bro.
And that's exactly where we need to be, at the
Yeah,
foundation of it all,
come on, man. I
because that's
believe in our.
where you've got to fight the infection. You've got to go to the root of everything and let it spread out. The healing that we will be providing, spread it out from there, because building what we're going to build there is going to allow us that ability, to then start to go out to other communities, on a regular basis as well.
It's
But with
beautiful, bro. You
it's
know, I just know we can't let what we know die with
Mhm.
us. And we know what trades did, bro. For our people, bro. We know what the financial literacy does for our people, bro. We know what being entrepreneurs does for our people, bro. We know what teaching our family about gardening, our people about gardening, bro, does, bro. Right? So
which in SAC is a perfect place to do it. I mean, SAC is known as one of the biggest farm to table cities and communities in, like, dang near all of the United States. Like, it's
outside
very
of
much right up there.
Sacramento, the
No,
outskirts,
yep, fair point, fair point. So now we got to bring that in.
not
We
in
got
the
to bring that
concrete
in,
jungle, but we bringing it back to the concrete jungle. We tearing up cement, bro.
and we're going to plant that green, literally and figuratively. Because I'm glad that you said that, because there's a reason. Once upon a time, our logo was purple, but then when you joined the platform, I purposely changed it to green for a couple different reasons. And green, the underlying color green, or the meaning behind green, is change. It's growth. It's abundance. And that, when we changed the logo and we changed the color of the logo, that was intentional. Because again, if y'all don't know by now, if you haven't been watching long enough, like, we are very intentional with what we do and how we do it. Again, at the top of the conversation, we let you know that we only bring real human beings on here. We don't do this for clicks. We don't do this for views. We do this for the messages that we're having tonight together, or the messages that we are privileged and honored enough with our past family members and those that will be becoming family members in the future, with us. It's done with intent, because we've talked about this before, bro. Like, this is a lifestyle for us. This is not something that we just get up and do just so we can talk and people can hear us talk. Like, there's truth and real shit that comes from these conversations. And these are conversations that are never gonna, whether there's one person watching, 1,000 people, or nobody watching. These are gonna be conversations that we're gonna continue to have, because they need to be had. And we don't care about anything else other than having the conversation. And whoever it's meant to go out to, well, then you know what? That's who it's going to go out to at the end of the day.
For sure.
And I'm grateful. I'm grateful for that.
I mean, not everyone's gonna receive the message, bro. I know one thing, bro. It's not meant for everybody to get it, bro.
Hmm.
But those that can get it, I tend for them to get it, bro. That's all that matters, bro. The ones that get it, bro. And everybody else, God gonna deal with them and get that message to them, if at all, right? But at some point, maybe not. But those that's meant to get it, bro, we need to have that conversation with them, bro. That's why I do this, bro. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Uh, it's bigger than just, I mean, if I could just talk to my homies, my sack, or just, well, nah, bro. This conversation need to be had in every community, bro. I'm from every community, bro. Real was from everywhere, bro. And we
Hmm.
should bring them to our young life, bro, and to our brothers. Just real, authentic conversation. Bring that old shit back, bro.
Because it's that simple thing that communication, that conversation is gonna be a simple thing that starts to connect all those dots from SAC to here to
Yeah.
there, and just building that tribe, like we're going to be doing for Sacramento specifically. And we talked about, like, I mean, it's dope with what we built and how we built it, the people that we've made and the connections that we've made. Like we could go to Houston right now, no problem. We've got Angel Hickman, aka Exceptional Lee. We've got Neek the Skits, Nico Brown down in Houston, who's welcomed us down there anytime we want with open arms. We got Jacksonville, Florida, with, of course, Miss Crystal Turner. We could go to Wisconsin with Elusive Eagle. We can go to Denver. We can go. I mean, there's so many places that we already have a platform and foundation built for us to build from. So, building out what we're building, it takes time, and we accept that, right? But the beautiful thing is we have the plan and we're working the plan. Going back to gardening, we have planted the seeds, and now we are watering those seeds. And when the greenery and vegetation, and food, literally and figuratively, comes out of that, it's gonna be a beautiful sight to see. And the cool thing is, that's all we want. We don't want nothing out of that other than just that ability to plant these seeds and then water them, because that's our mission. We're the vessels accordingly, and we're gonna accept that and walk that, with respect to the lifestyle that we have accepted for the youth ahead and anybody else in general, like you said, who needs to hear this message, because they're going to get it one way or the other, whether they accept it or not. Well, that's on them, because at the end of the day, any message of any kind, and certainly this one that we're talking about, you've got to be ready to receive that message, because at the end of the day, it is ultimately a blessing. But are you ready for that is the big question when it comes down to it.
It's all about choices, man. You know what I mean? It's all about choices, bro. You got to choose you, you know, period. Like, before you get into shit, choose you.
Hmm.
You after you get into shit, choose you before that, right? Hold on, real quick, brother.
Nah, you're good. Do your thing. But yeah, if y'all are just tapping in with us, it's the Dooney and Mikey P show tonight. We are the special guests here. We're just giving you some updates on things that we've been working on, things that are coming up in the future. Just remembrance of why we have this platform and why we do it. And it's nothing more than just to continue to have human conversation, real conversation. We're willing to say and do things that, other people are not, because we're comfortable with that. We accept that. We accept the vessels that we are, to spread truth, and nothing more, nothing more than that. Because we don't do it for anything other than that. And we appreciate everybody that supports, that has been supporting us on this mission. And there's a lot more cool things coming on. We are literally going to be taking the show on the road, before you know it. We already have that mapped out, planned out, what we need to do it, how we need to do it. We're putting together a 24-hour live cast here in the next couple months as well. Which I know Dooney could probably hear me a little bit. It might make more sense, for when I move out to Sacramento. to do it then. But we'll see what happens. The universe is going to lay out the plan and the path that
Right.
is laid out for us both, and all we're going to do is just walk that motherfucker out, bro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, man, it's gonna line up, man. It was just a trip, man. Just talking about that. A brother asked me today that I work with, right? Brother
Mm,
Ramos Mendy. He said, "Do you have any kids?" I was like, "Nah, bro, I don't have any kids, bro. I lost two biologically, but I don't have any kids, bro." And he was like, "Oh wow," because he has a few kids, right?
mm,
And I said, "Bro, I don't, the things that I do, uh, I don't think God uh, will give me a child like that because, for one, I'm latching to that child, bro. I don't know if I would be doing the things I do in the community the way I do it if I had a seed at home, bro, that was depending and looking to see me walk through that door every day, bro. Uh, I think it'd be my road. My child would be my road dog, boy, girl, it didn't matter, won't matter. You know what I mean? But being that I don't have that, all children are mine, bro. You know what I mean? And I told him,
and
bro,
that's something you said since damn near the moment that I've known you, bro.
I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, that's why I got to succeed, bro. I got to bring these things to my people. You know what I mean? Them are our babies, the
Hmm.
community's babies, bro. There's not just that father and child, father and mother. They have to understand it's a community. You know what I mean? It's the reason why they say the community, the village raises the child. You know, the mother and father, you know what you know. So that's all your kids are going to know is what the mother and father knows. Not everyone in the community.
Hmm.
Come on, bro. We got to get back to being that road, and hopefully I can build that village, bro. That's why the gardens is going in, so we can build that space, a safe space, a place of serenity where you can go and just be at peace. You know what I mean? And to connect back with the earth, bro.
And have a place to go where, in addition to what you said, instead of
Yeah.
using one of our family members, La Bent, his analogy, walking on the sidewalk, or in this case, walking in the garden as opposed to walking out on the streets, having another
Mm-hmm.
place where you can reset, where you can connect to
Mm-hmm.
something that does offer that serenity. And I think that's important. I think it's important that people such as yourself, myself, we have to accept whether they are our biological children or not. Like, we have to accept, or even if we have children or not, we have to accept our roles as patriarchs and matriarchs within the community as a whole. Just because you don't have any children of your own, for whatever the reason may or may not be, it does not mean that you are not a mother. It does not mean that you are not a father,
Oh
because you
yeah.
still you still have that role to play within the community. You're a mother figure, you're a father figure, at the end of the day. And it's something that I very much accept, because there was a time before I met Chelsea and have grown the family that we have. Like, I did not want children. I was previously married. I got divorced. I had never planned on having any kids. I didn't want any kids, truth be told, once upon a time in a past life, right? Because I had seen how crazy this world had already started to become, right? And then when I had met Chelsea, Jupiter was maybe 2 years old, maybe just over 2 years old at that point. And when things got really serious, between us, Chelsea had said to me, she was, and I commend her for having the strength as a mother and as a human being to be like, yo, just so you understand that this is a package deal. Like, if you're going to be with me long term in whatever capacity that's going to be, you have to be accepting of Jupiter as well. And I fully embrace that, because just in the time that I got to spend with Jupiter, when we were just kind of, Chelsea and I were seeing each other, man, like, again, not knowing where our relationship ultimately was going to lead, having a feeling but not knowing, right? Those are two different things. I embraced that opportunity, and here we are, almost 10 years later at this point. I'm ecstatic. I'm ecstatic to be playing that role as a father figure in my household. And I also did already embrace that because, I did a lot of volunteering with youth basketball and baseball and any which way I could be involved with the community, and the youth in that respect before I even met Chelsea and Jupiter. But getting to see that has completely changed, my sights, of course, on that. And it's like, man, like, how could I have never wanted this? Again, I mentioned the reason why I didn't, but at the same time, I would tell my old self, who was thinking that way, nah, bro, like, accept it, because you are planting seeds in that respect as well, and you are playing an important role to humanity. Yeah, we're not going to change everything overnight. We're not going to change everything as a whole, but we've had this conversation as well. If we can just lay those seeds for, shade from the tree that we may never see in our physical lifetime, well, then to me today, that is well worth it, and then some. And that's a legacy I am happy to leave when I'm no longer physically here on this earth. And I'm happy to be able to share that with you and other people, that share that same mindset of being a patriarch like you and I do, whether they're our children or not.
Yeah, that's definitely why I plant trees, every fruit trees everywhere I can, bro. Because I know when I'm gone, somebody's gonna eat, bro. Everywhere I planted them trees, somebody's gonna eat, bro. So I'll be feeding people long after I'm gone.
Yes, you will. Yes, you will. And I think that's something, we were talking about, like, social media and society as a whole. I mean, that instant gratification these days, it used to be something called the 24-hour news cycle. Like, with social media, it's a 24-minute, 24-second news cycle these days. And I think that is also, to kind of jump back to what you were talking about with respect to what social media is doing and has done to society at this point in time. I think it almost, again, when we talk about 85% of the world being followers, man, if you're just being told every 24 seconds as you're doom scrolling on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok or whatever the case is, that something's got to happen now, well, then you're never going to plant that tree. And that's when the world in time is going to become obsolete, because you want to plant that tree literally right now, and in the next 24 seconds be able to eat the apple off it or eat the orange
They're
off it
watch,
or
they're watching it in the stores, bro. So that's their reality.
hmm
They got
Patience is
water.
important.
They got watermelons all year round, huh?
hmm
Come
How is
on,
that?
bro.
How is that?
Yeah. But they believe it's good. That's why they buy them.
hmm
You know, they buying into it, bro. They, like I said, they're just in a trance state, bro. They're not thinking for themselves, not independent thinkers anymore, bro. And it's bad to not be an independent thinker, but to be self-absorbed at the
Yes.
same time. If that's not a powder keg,
Say that again, bro. Say that again. Like, come on, bro. It is.
yeah,
It's wild out here, and that's why I'm happy to do the things that we are doing, and all of the beautiful things that we've got planned. And with us moving out that way, it's just going to take it to a whole nother level. And I'm excited, and we can't wait for it. And I know it'll be certainly no later than the summer. But honestly, if we're in a position to do it next week, we will leave out of here next week, bro. But again, it's all on the creator's time,
it
and we
won't
are
take
okay with that, because patience is important, and impatience kills, or at least could kill. So we got to be patient, and I'm willing to let that fruit tree grow, to be able to eat off of it. And whenever the creator says that it's time to pick that orange or pick that apple or pick that grape from the vine, or whatever the case might be, then we're gonna go ahead and do so. And we're gonna bite into a beautiful piece of fruit or a nice crisp vegetable,
I'm
whatever it
happy.
is.
I'm just happy for uh, the outside. We outside live, viewers and family, bro. Um, what we'll be able to bring to them, bro.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm excited about, bro. Because uh, we need to be able to stay tapped in, um, with authenticity, right? with our people, so we can stay authentic.
Yes,
And we feed off that, bro. We don't want the fake and the bull to come in. So as long as we getting real stuff, bro, and serving real stuff, bro, it's gonna be a blessing, bro.
it
You know
is.
what I mean? So I just look forward to just bringing it just more of quality to them, bro.
Yeah, I
You
could
know,
not agree with you more. And because they are, they help, you know, charge, forward with us. In those moments where we're like, it might be a challenging day. It's easier for us to look back and be like, who we get to share this with and the people that are really and strongly behind it. That's what it's for. That's who it's for, to make a better stamp on this world than we wouldn't be otherwise able to do.
I can
And
say
I'm grateful for that.
because of my schedule, 90% of the time I be dead beat tired, bro, when we do the show.
Yep.
But it's our guests, bro, that give me the energy, bro. It's like, boom, I'm back. You know what I mean? Just
It's that
that,
recharge of the battery.
yeah, bro. Just to be able to connect with authentic people, bro. We get a charge, bro. Uh, and every one of our guests brought me that charge, bro.
And that's what
Every
you get when you
single
get
one,
real, bro.
yeah, bro. It's a blessing, bro. To be able to just to have that dialogue, right, with authentic people, bro. Because people are so fake.
Sad. It's sad what this world's come to, but you know what? We're going to continue to do our part to reach out to the people who want to hear it, need to hear it, and believe in what we're talking about. Which, again, if you can't believe in true reality and real shit coming out of people's mouths, well, you know what? The message, you're just not ready to receive that message. At the end of the day, we don't
This
knock
show
you.
ain't for you.
Exactly, and we'll do nothing but pray for you and send you blessings because you need them. You need them. That's it. That's as clear as day, bro. That's as
Yeah.
clear as day. But I know we're winding up on an hour here, and like always, Mondays are always long for us. You had an extra long Monday yourself, respectively, as well. Any final thoughts that you wanna share or touch on today before we get back to our regular part of the scheduled Mondays for ourselves?
I just say stay tuned in, stay tapped in, man, with the creator, man. Stay tapped into your heart. Uh, and keep that, you know what I mean? That line open with God, man, and stay making godly choices. Uh, and other than that, man, just have a blessed day, have a blessed week, have a blessed month, have a blessed life. Uh, we outside live for
It's
sure,
all we
for
could
sure.
ever ask for. My brother, I appreciate the conversation as always. Anybody that's watching this live, or if you're watching this after the fact, just remember every Monday we come out, we have these conversations, YouTube, Twitch. Make sure that you're following and subscribing there. Sometimes we pop out on Instagram like we did tonight. That doesn't happen all the time. But that's where you can find us. Tell a friend to tell a friend, because at the end of the day, if you are rocking with real conversation, y'all need to stay locked into this situation because there are some really dope things coming. So, Dooney, my brother, I thank you. All love, all respect, all the time. I will get at you later. And everybody, you know what it is. We outside.